Hello again, how are you? This is Simon Scriver here again. I'm trying to do another video just about fundraising and charities and all that stuff. So this week was pretty good because we had the launch of GoodCharity.ie. So we had myself with Total Fundraising together with a few organisations, Fundraising Ireland, White Barn Consulting, Docus and The Wheel. We spent a good bit of time, nearly 2 years putting this website together, very simple website, but trying to help public, the media, even charities, trying to move the conversation along about what makes a good charity, and how the public state and the media should be deciding who to donate to or who to volunteer to, which charity to support, and it's all about just trying to encourage transparency in the sector, which there's a lot of, but sometimes it doesn't seem like it, and also trying to move the conversation past salaries and admin costs, which a lot of the times don't make any sense and aren't a good indicator of a good charity, and move the conversation towards what charities are actually doing and towards the impact that they're having and whether they're actually achieving their mission and whether they're making the world a better place. And there's a really good article I'll try and link to in the notes below. One of my favorite articles by a guy called William McCaskill, and he talks about the worst charity in the world, and what he feels is the worst charity is this homeopathic charity that essentially is promoting the use of homeopathic medicine to cure stuff that can't be cured by homeopathy. But his point is that even if a charity like this charity ticks all the boxes, it publishes its salaries. It's mainly volunteers or really low paid staff. It publishes its accounts. Its admin cost ratio is low. All that stuff that we're kind of programmed to think makes good charity. It's like that homeopathic charity does all that, but actually on the other side of it, it's probably not really helping anyone because homeopathy doesn't do anything. But also it could actually be causing damage because people are taking homeopathic medicine instead of real working medicine, and that's the point, that there are, depending on your beliefs and what you want to do, there are potentially bad charities. Even in Ireland we have charities who contradict each other. There's charities who are promoting the legalization of gay marriage, and there's charities who are working against the legalization of gay marriage, and so just because they're charities, it doesn't mean they're good for what you want to achieve. And so good charity is all about asking a few more questions, and delving a bit deeper past salaries and all that, and looking at what they're achieving and who is doing it the best and who has a proven track record and all that. So really, I hope you'll look at the website GoodCharity.ie. Hope to share it. Hope it'll be a tool for charities to move people towards if they start asking questions, and that we can all kind of get a bit more educated about donating to charity and volunteering to charity. So I think it's a lot better. It's like a stepping stone for people to ask questions compared to these charity comparison websites that you see in other countries and popping up in a few places, which is saying like, this charity is better than this charity because its admin costs are lower or because its CEO is paid less. And obviously that's complete nonsense because they might not actually be doing anything. It's the reason there's no best boyfriend or perfect song or best car or best company to invest in, because it depends what you're looking to do with all that. So yeah, that's it. But I think the other point I wanted to make about this stuff is, we started working this website before the CRC and Rehab scandals, and those scandals, are still, I suppose, still lingering with us, with all of the sector, and there's more scandals, and there'll continue to be scandals as long as humans are humans and humans work in these places. You're going to keep seeing these messes, and what we need to do is try and distinguish between these charities who are maybe involved in the scandals, rightly or wrongly, and just, you know, help us all to realize that you can't judge one charity by another. You know, if you had a bad experience in a shop, you wouldn't say, I'm never going to shops again. Or if you had one bad piece of food, you wouldn't say, I'm never eating again. And it's the same with charities. You can't judge one by the other. So we have to take responsibility for that, and we have to take responsibility for the scandals that, like, I mean, we all funded CRC and Rehab, you know, whatever about whether they did anything wrong or not. But, you know, I donated to CRC and Rehab. I still donate to CRC and Rehab. And the state funded them, and all the people who were outraged that their donation was being wasted. I mean, the answers to the questions were there before we donated. And so, you know, we have to take some responsibility that if we didn't ask those questions before the donation, you know, should we really be that angry that our donation wasn't used the way we thought it might have been? And frankly, like, I mean, when I say I donated to CRC and Rehab, I enter a monthly draw to win a car, which is where a lot of their funding comes from, and scratch cards and things like that. And it's like, really, I mean, you have to ask yourself, is that, you know, if charity was your number one priority and helping the people that they help was a priority, you know, did you really think scratch cards and trying to win a car were the best way to do it? No, I mean, the truth is, like, the reason I still donate to them is because selfishly I still think I might win that car this month or next month. And the other thing I wanted to kind of say is, like, I mean, I see Rehab has got their new CEO in place who looks brilliant, and they've got a brilliant board in place, you know, an almost brilliant board, and CRC has a new board in place. And it's just, I'm wondering, have we moved, you know, have we learned anything from that CRC and Rehab? You know, I think those are two good organizations. They have their problems, but they can be good organizations, and there's a lot of people that benefit from them. I think now is the best time to donate to them because they're not going to make another mistake. I don't see them making another mistake. So I think now they're a good time to good time to donate to them. But I wonder, have we, the public, the donors, learned anything from this scandal? I mean, I still see charities being donated to who don't publish their accounts, who don't publish their CEO salary, who don't have good impact reporting, and even like TD, even like, you know, Alan Shatter donated to a charity who at the time didn't publish their accounts on the website. They still don't publish their CEO salary. And, you know, even like I see these crowdfunding things. I donated to a crowdfunding thing the other day for a memorial. And, you know, I don't know where that money's gone. And there's no reporting of whether, you know, that memorial hasn't been built. I haven't been able to get an answer yet of where my donation's gone. They're not a registered charity. I don't know who's behind it really. And so, like, I mean, we're all still giving money to these, you know, even like, I should know better, but all of us, you know, we're still donating to charities that don't have the level of transparency that we demanded in the wake of all these scandals. It's still pretty much the same, and we are still encouraging it and promoting it by not putting the scrutiny on before we drop coins in buckets, before we make these donations. And so I think, you know, charities have a bit of work to do, but we, the donating public, have a lot of work to do because it is our responsibility. We fund it, and our government that we voted in crazily fund it, and we have to take responsibility for how that money goes. But yeah, so it's interesting. I wonder, you know, and I'm curious to hear other people's thoughts. Has the conversation moved along since Rehab and CRC and any other scandals, and have we learned anything? Because, you know, I'm not sure we have, and really we need to be asking a few more questions, and charities obviously need to be more transparent. You know, we need to keep giving, and we need to give more because there's so many problems, but we need to be really giving effectively, and I just don't know if we're going the right way about it. Because I still really want to win that car.